Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Beauty on a Budget. My name is Heather and today is Tuesday, May 20th of 2025. So this week's cleaning is going to be a completely different schedule. I've got my basic schedule here in front of me. So my son is coming home Thursday morning. My youngest daughter, her grad is Friday. So, and then yesterday was our holiday up here in Canada. It was Victoria Day, so we had a long weekend. And so this gives me that very short week. So I only have Tuesday and Wednesday to do a week's worth of cleaning. But I will say, like last week when I was trying to do some extra cleaning and I was finding I don't really have any extra cleaning to do, I've hit a point where I think because the renovations have stopped for a while, that there is very little drywall or sawdust around the house. There's still some down in the basement, obviously, because I can't get still cleaning up my basement. But again, it's very little stuff that I'm finding. I was really surprised when I pulled out my couch and my coffee table and I found like no crumbs. I mean, there was some pet hair, but not the amount I was expecting, and no crumbs. And so those are the key things. It says when you get to that point where you're cleaning, like you're steadily like once a week, pulling stuff out to vacuum and mop and clean or whatever. If you hit like a week where you kind of didn't pull everything out the week before, so now it's been like almost 2 weeks since you've done it, and you're finding very little stuff to clean, it's like you've hit that point where, there is no real mess to clean. I mean, obviously, I still want to pull my furniture out and I still want to do some good cleaning. I want to make sure the walls are clean. I want to make sure my floors are clean. But, I hit that point and it's like, do I have to pull them out once a week? Now I'll still say my couch and my coffee table, definitely I'll still be checking those once a week because me and my husband, we do eat a lot of our meals on the couch watching movies. That is what we do. Or if we have company over, when we had like all the kids were around, the kitchen table is just, we can pull it out, but it's just very small in this house. And it was just easier to have, everybody kind of just pick a place to eat kind of thing. So finding that, and even like my kitchen table, because I do clean it and I do keep it covered with like tablecloths and everything, it doesn't get like dirty like I thought it would be, especially with the pets. But, I said we're down to, I think we're actually like at the least amount of pets we've had in a very long time. I will say this, like in 14 years, we have had a total of 8 cats, 2 dogs, 4 budgies, 2 guinea pigs, a rabbit, and 16 to 20 betta fish. So, we've had pets. I will say at one time, that's not how many we've had at one time. That's how many we've had in 14 years. The birds were short-lived. The rabbit was, short-lived as well. Like, the rabbit was cute and all, but it wasn't ours. We were just watching it for the summer, but I still count it as a pet because I had to take care of it every day for almost 2 months. The fish, I don't know how many fish I bought for my kids, but just the betta fish. So that was just, I find pets and stuff, pets with kids teach them responsibility, and empathy and just different things. There's a whole list of why pets are important for kids to have, even if it is something as small as a little fish. That being said, betta fish last longer than goldfish. They are so much easier to take care of. When my oldest 2 were really little, we did have a goldfish. The goldfish just never lived. The cost of that tank for the goldfish was just so much more. Betta fish are just so much easier to take care of. So I'm doing my cleaning this week, like I said. So I only have like today and tomorrow. There's not really much for me to do. So I'm just going to do a quick basic. I'll be cleaning both the bathrooms. I guess I'll do the bathrooms tomorrow. I've got a few other things I got to get done today. And so I'll save the bathrooms for tomorrow. Maybe I'll get to them. If I get the bathrooms today, then I'll have all my cleaning done today. But so I do have to do my kitchen, the living room, the master bedroom, because we know when my son comes, we're giving him our room again. So I got to wash all the bedding. Just picking up, any personal, clothing items, just to kind of move that type of stuff out of there. And even I found that out when he was here. I had to go into that room a couple times. I thought I had grabbed everything out, and I still had to go in there to get a few items. So this time I'm going to make sure I take some of those extra items I need out of there, so I don't have to bother him when he's in there. And then I said, that's pretty much it. So just the 2 bathrooms, the master bedroom, the kitchen, and the living room. So I will just, so I'm not going to be doing like a big, a full big clean. I'm not pulling furniture out today. I'm not going to polish anything. My husband mopped the floor in the kitchen this morning. Something happened. Our cats were sick. So I know the litter box was done this morning. In fact, my daughter was late for school because of it. But like I said, one of our cats was sick this morning. So I had to clean up some stuff. It is, I got a clock right above me. About 8:45. Right. Just give me a second. Yeah, 8:40. Yeah, so almost, I'm at a funny angle trying to read that stupid clock above me. When I'm across the room, I can see it perfectly. When it's just sitting right at that angle, it's like, where are the 2 hands, when they're just so close, they're overlapping. It's like trying to read it. Okay, so it's 8:40 in the morning. So I'm just going to go and do a quick walkthrough and show you kind of what I need to get done today. So my living room is pretty much clean. I mean, I've got a few things here on the computer desk that I was working on this morning and last night. There's bath stuff from Mother's Day. I'll put them away. I've got a Flames mug and this is a beverage warmer, but I use them as candle warmers. These I actually just got on the weekend. A neighbor is moving and they had some stuff sitting out. Sorry about that. So a neighbor is moving. They had some stuff sitting out, and so this is brand new, never been opened. I'm gonna give this one to my daughter so she can use it in her room, and I will take the one that's in her room out. And then a Flames mug, because I'm a Flames fan. Although Flames were out, so then you switch to your next team after Flames is Leafs. They're out. So the only Canadian team playing right now is Oilers. So I guess I'm temporarily an Oilers fan. Okay. Got some candy and things I just gotta put away. And then, my cat stuff is fine, coming across to the couch and everything just needs to be kind of straightened up. I'll probably just, get to that later. I probably don't have to do it right now. But like I said, the living room is pretty much, good. Now, we had to move her food and water here because she decided to start to guarding her food and water, and then she wasn't letting the cats get to the litter box. Not the best place for everything, but, you find the best places for things, and sometimes it's not where you want them to be. Like I said, my front entrance, because I had to do the litter box, I still have to just kind of put that together. I mean, the litter box lid isn't even on properly. That is backwards. Not even clipped. Like I said, running late this morning, had to do that. I got to put my shoes and my daughter's shoes away. I've got a pair of socks there. It's got to get put away. Then just a good, vacuum and mopping this out. There's not really much to do in the front entrance. The kitchen, it seems okay. Got to straighten up the tablecloth. The cats are both up here last night and they had a fight, so they knocked dishes over. It's been a while since my animals have knocked anything off the table. And then, I've got the water filter. I got to put this one away because it's, I don't know, need a new filter, so we decided to just open up and use the new one. I'll just put that one aside for another use, like another time. I've got dishes from last night that were washed. They just have to get put away. That's what happens when we have supper like 10 o'clock or later at night. Dishes get washed, but they don't get put away. And just, stuff on the counter that just kind of needs to get put away. So I made potatoes the other day and they boiled over, and then it was too hot to wipe this off, so I got to do the top of the cook stove today. And then the master bedroom, like I said, I've got to wash the sheets for my son, so I will do the wash the bedding tomorrow because I still need the bed tonight. And then I've said I've got my coats and purses hanging up, so my purses I'm gonna take out of here. I've got a couple items sitting here that I gotta go back down to the basement. Those are clean pants. That bag's gotta go to the car. I've got this hockey game thing. I thought it was funny. I had to bring it up. It needs batteries, but I thought I'd bring it up so my son can see it, but I can't find the pieces for it. And then that's just a little stool. And then over here, I've got a bag. I've got a laundry basket to do. Taking that out to the garage, that's as far as it got. Like I said, so my bedroom is pretty much done. I'll do a quick load of laundry today, and I'll do my bedding tomorrow. And then it's just the 2 bathrooms to do. That is what I'm going to be working on. I guess I'll start in the master bedroom since it's like almost 9 in the morning. If I can get a load of laundry in now, it's going to be done, before noon. I can get all my laundry, washed, dried, and put away before noon. I like to do that. And so that's what I'm going to start with. I'm just going to grab whatever is in the master bedroom that I need to take out. Then I will be back. All right, so I've straightened out the front entrance. I've done a quick sweep. I got the litter box back together. I've taken the garbage out. I've picked up the living room, moved everything that was in here that doesn't need to be in here. I mean, I gotta still have a few extra items I gotta put upstairs. I just don't feel like running upstairs with just 2 items. I figure I'll wait till I have a few more things to take upstairs. But the living room is done other than just a vacuuming. In the kitchen, I've straightened up the table. The hair color's got to go up to my daughter's room because she's doing her hair this week. And I got my clean dishes put away. I've cleared off my counter. I will be cleaning the rest of my kitchen in a minute. Fridge is not shut. And then the master bedroom, I quickly have done everything. What I've decided to do is I'm not going to be washing my bedding tomorrow. Instead, tomorrow evening or Thursday morning, I will just put the other sheets on the bed. And then when my son is done, then I can just wash because I've got the other set that needs to be washed. And I got some other pillowcases that, they're clean, but it's been a while since they've been washed. I might as well, wait till I get all that stuff together and then do a load of bedding that way. So I'll be doing bedding not tomorrow, but a couple days from now. But I got my room all straightened out, so I just have the coat and the purse that I'm using today, which can stay up here. Over here, I've kind of put some of my other papers and things away for now as well. And then I straightened up my shoes, and that is the dress that I'm wearing for my daughter's grad, so it can hang here until I actually am going to be wearing it. So yeah, the master bedroom is all picked up and put together. So I've got load in the machine now. I'll be doing a second load in a little bit. And so I guess just be wiping down my counters and the sink and the top of my cook stove. So I'm going to do the cook stove first. Right, so to do the cook stove, I have a couple of things I use. One is my Cerama Bright. Then I've got these special scrubbers that are designed specifically for the cook stove. I've got this little scraper tool that I bought at the Dollarama. I've got to wash this off. It's got dried cleaner on it from last time I used it. I guess I forgot to wipe it down before I put it away, so I'm going to rinse that off. And then because we were cooking, meat and stuff, I'm going to also use this Lysol Kitchen Pro Power Degreaser. It does help get stuff off of here, like grease splatters and things. And then for my counters, I have the marble, granite, and quartz cleaner. And then for my stainless steel things, I have my stainless steel cleaner. So I'll start with this because this one, takes the longest to do. Let's see if I can angle this. So you can just see where the potatoes had boiled over, and a few other spills have happened. I don't know, something over on this burner. I don't know if I'm in view, but right, am I in? No, gotta move this. Right here, there's something else that spilled up here and over here. So I'm just gonna a little bit of the Cerama Bright. One time I did this and I poured just too much, but I just put enough. I just kind of go around and give each burner like a ring of the Cerama Bright. And then I take these. Always use the ones that are made for cook stoves. They're not going to scratch. Do not use steel wool or other strong scrubber pads. I buy these in a set of 3 for 3 something to just under $4 at Canadian Tire. I have seen them at other places, but I just find Canadian Tire is just the place that I always see them, or I usually see them. And this is my last brand new one, so I definitely will have to go next time at Canadian Tire. I will have to go and get another pack of these. So even just by doing this, where there's stuff that's burned on, it's hard to see when it's on the black part, but when it's burned on to the ring, I guess, you can see it. And if I just scrub, you can see this is already lifting it off with just the scrub pad. And so like, I don't like to use this scraper every time there's burnt on stuff. I like to, just use the power of just, your hands and just scrape, just wiping it off and just going around. Because I will say, over time, this is going to scratch the cook stove. I have a few scratches. I don't know if using this scratched it, or when my husband or my son cook and they don't lift the pots up, they slide the pots. I have slid the pots too. I'll bring something out of the oven and I'll slide it across, and all it takes is just some little piece of food, like a little crumb or something, just between the cook stove, glass top and the bottom of the pan, and it's going to scratch. Or even just the pan itself, like the cast iron pans. That is how we got a lot of scratches on the other stove we had, and we had rust rings because they would just leave, the cast iron pans to soak while it's cooling down enough to be able to clean, and then they would forget to wipe off the bottom of the pan and they would leave it on the stove. And I used to talk to my son and my husband about that. Lift the pan up and set the pan down. Do not slide it across. And it's because of that, I don't have a big kitchen. I do want to find one of those big wooden block cutting boards that I can fit across here. I've seen ones that are made that have the special feet, so then that actually is a little bit higher than the stove, and it sits on the counters on either side. And I would really like to have one of those. It will give me, more counter space, and maybe it would prevent this cook stove from being, used as a surface to work with. There we go. So I'm just gonna. I'm gonna say I can't even see where the stuff had spilt. Now it's probably still there, but I'm just gonna rinse this out. And just wipe this off. And it looks so much better. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper towel to just kind of dry that off. And just see how much of that burnt on stuff I was able to get off without using the scraper. It looks really good. There is still a few small sections that I can see that you don't even have to use the scraper every time. Now I do have some marks here, and I'm just going to spray with this degreaser just where those few little marks are. And I'm just going to grab this, and I'm just going to see if I can get this. I don't want to use the scraper on the dry surface. You always want to have something there. There's just a little bit there and a little bit up here of stuff that just, I mean, if I use this, it would take, I would eventually be able to get it off. But if I have the little scraper tool, why not use it? Less work. Some of this might be stuff that was burnt on before my potatoes boiled over. Probably was. Even the last time I had cleaned it, the few hours after I cleaned my stove top, the last time, stuff did come up that I kind of missed. So some of these things might be that. There. I'm going to grab my cleaning cloth here. I've got this one here, it just says kitchen. So I'm just going to get these out of the way. I'm just going to spray the whole stove top with this degreaser. And just go over the whole cook stove. And doing this stove, I don't even know how many minutes it has been, but I have not paused my video doing this. Sometimes I pause and come back, but this time I did the whole cook stove without pausing my video. So you can see it doesn't take long to clean it off. It does need a final rinse. I will say after spraying with this, I will take just a damp cloth and just go over, because the degreaser does leave a slight residue, and I'm worried about, next time somebody turns on a burner, how that residue is going to affect the stove. So I do want to make sure that, all the residue from the degreaser is off. There, my cook stove is done. Do this. And then also I said around the cook stove, where the top ends and where the side of the stove is, there is a rubber thing. I don't know what it's called, but there is that rubber. And I do find that the degreaser and the Ceramic Bright do kind of stick on here. And as the Ceramic Bright dries, it goes white. So it kind of turns this white. And that does help me to see if I have any residue left on there. Even the cook stove, if I give it a few minutes. And if I have any of the Ceramic Bright, it's going to turn white. The degreaser is going to have streaks on it. So let me see if I can tell if I have any where I need to wipe off more degreaser, but that looks good. Just give that, oops, something there. Just, I don't know what that was. There was just something there. It wasn't there. Now I'm cleaning, and then suddenly there was just something stuck. I don't know, maybe it was just off the cloth or got stuck on the counter. Maybe something from the counter, and I wiped it onto the stove and spread it. Done that before too. So I usually try to do my counters before the cook stove. And then my stove is done. My microwave is fine. I don't need to clean it out. I've done that a couple times last week. Stuff got spilt. I'm just wiping off the knobs. It's, cooking with the grease and stuff. The knobs kind of get splattered. This cloth has that degreaser on it. Then I will go over with the stainless steel and clean it, the stainless steel cleaner, and then that will just really shine it up. But I find this does help get the grease off of any of the stainless steel appliances. I've got my microwave here. I've got, I see the grease splattered up here. Just quickly wipe it off. And then the handle of my stove as well. I've got stuff right here. So even though it is stainless steel, I mean, I'm not spraying this degreaser directly on to the stainless steel. I'm just spraying on the cloth and wiping where I see things. Especially like the top here of the stove. You're cooking anything, stuff spills, bringing it out. Or you've got the oven racks. The food is just right over top of the oven doors. I find that just really helps. My oven is clean, but like I said, I just happen to see a little bit of stuff here on the top of this oven door. I might as well just wipe it off. I'm just going to check this one. I'm going to see. I haven't used this bottom oven part since I cleaned it, but it doesn't hurt to just wipe it off. Just dust, pet hair, kitchen, you're making food, stuff splatters. You don't even know where stuff splatters, but there, I will say my stove is done, except I did spray the cook stove again when I sprayed some on the cloth. So that is done. So now I will just wipe off my counters, and I will show you. I've got a couple of counters like right here. I'm going to turn that light down. See if that will help. I don't know. But here there is like food spilt. It's right next to the stove, and this counter here, because we use this burner, so it's this counter always gets splashed on. And then I know I gotta wipe the stove off. It always happens. When I'm cleaning the stove, I gotta wipe off the counters, then I wipe off the counters, and I have to redo the stove. But show you this. Just give that a minute to do this thing. I gotta grab another cloth. For some reason today, I forgot to grab my claws out while I was bringing out the cleaners. This is just a microfiber cloth. I find it works really good for wiping off the counters to give that really nice streak-free finish. And it is sticky and it has gone over the counter onto the side of the cupboard. I don't normally use this for the side of the cupboard, but I don't know what that is. It is just something went over the edge and it is like grease. So I might as well. I worked hard and cleaned all these cupboards the other day, so to find this one here dripping with grease is not what I was expecting today, but you know, it happens. And I have to move the spice racks to clean the rest of the counter, but look at that. And then this counter here has like these lines that go this way, so when I'm cleaning, I try to get cleaning in the same direction as the grooves or lines, and it just kind of, you know, you don't get those weird streaks going the opposite direction. If you do end up with any little streaks, it's going the same direction and it just, you know, blends in, I guess. So there we go. There's the cook stove and this counter. So I'm just going to go and wipe down the rest of my counters the same way. Something stuck there as well. And then for my stainless steel appliances, like I said, I have the stainless steel cleaner and I have these claws here, and they are made specifically for stainless steel. So I'm just going to finish my kitchen and then I will be back. All right, so my sink I have is a black ceramic type sink. So I was almost out of the Cerama Bright and I thought I would just want to see how much there was. So I just kind of sprayed, you know, just kind of sprinkled some in here, and then not much was coming out. So I just add a little bit of water and just kind of poured this in. So I can kind of just use the Cerama Bright to wipe down my sink. And again, this is just that one that's made for the cook stove. I'm not going to use anything really abrasive on my sink. And I do find doing this every once in a while does help my sink to stay nice and shiny. If it seems like it's wet, it's, you know, or watered down, it's because I had added, you know, a bunch of water to the container of Cerama Bright. It's been a while since I've done a good deep cleaning of my sink too, so I just thought, might as well. Today I'm not doing too much for cleaning. I'm just gonna scrub it and rinse it all down. My sink has a sprayer attachment. I just don't want to spray my camera. My sink looks so much better when I do this. It has staining and scratches. The sink is like about 16 years old, and I'm going to say, I know other people who, you got renters and other people who use whatever cleaners and whatever they're going to use to clean, clean the sink. I know if it was stainless steel, you would scrub it with this pad. I don't know, like a SOS type pad. I've done that with stainless steel sinks, but I don't know. I'm just wondering if that's why the sink is kind of scratched in places, but I'm not doing that. I'm using very soft cloths on here, using cleaners that are meant for this type of product. That always helps too. My sink is done. Wipe off the soap dispenser and wipe off the handles here because I've got cleaner all over them. And then I will grab a dry cloth and just dry this all off. My kitchen is almost done. I just got to wipe off around the sink and dry it all off. And then I'm just going to wipe down the stainless steel appliances. And my kitchen is done. Right, so my kitchen is all cleaned. Freezer door is not shutting properly. There we go. Now it's shut. Counters are done. I did a good scrubbing of my sink. I've done the cook stove, got all that all cleaned off, got everything cleaned. It is now a few minutes to 10. So it's taken me just a little over an hour to do all this cleaning today. I've decided that I'm going to end here for today. I still got like laundry to do. But yeah, tomorrow I will do a good scrubbing of both the bathrooms. The tubs need to be done. The shower heads need a good scrubbing. It's been a while since I've done those. I know around and behind the toilets needs a really good thing. So I will do the 2 bathrooms tomorrow. And I said, probably not sure if I'm going to wash all the bedding tomorrow. I will, because I've got clean sheets. I might as well just, why do 2 loads of laundry if I just change these sheets and put the clean sheets on, and then when my son goes back home, just do a load of laundry and wash up all the sheets at once. That's probably what I'll do. It saves me doing an extra load of laundry today or tomorrow. Yeah, so again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who subscribes to my channels or watches my videos, and I will see you in the next ones. Bye.